Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So we just finished doing a mountain sprint with the 2022 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing with the 6-speed manual transmission. And today this is going to be our final thoughts with this car. Definitely an awesome vehicle with the supercharged V8 family sedan that you can daily drive.
It has been a beast in the mountains, the daily, kind of everything. So we're gonna go back down this mountain. We've got a few more twisties and then some normal driving. We're gonna give you our final thoughts on if this family performance sedan is something worth buying.
So like I just said, we just finished doing our mountain trip and we have the rest of this road to finish. This is pretty much my first impression. So you guys are getting first impressions in a week combined into one video.
Yeah, I had the car pretty much all week. I did normal stuff with it, the review video, highway cruising, and then now today, Mike's only time behind the wheel is this.
Yeah. And I gotta say, it's a sweet car to drive in the mountains. For this type of road, I think it's a little bit big. We're gonna get on some bigger roads that I feel like it'll be a little bit more comfortable on.
Yeah, this is a very twisty road.
Yeah, for the size of it, I mean, it's handled it well. We are on winter. I mean, it's hard to describe. Like, the traction control does really well. We are on winter tires, but you can feel pretty confident behind the wheel.
Yeah.
A little bit squirrely here and there.
I think a lot of that is going to be the tires.
Yeah.
But I think it's impressive that, again, we have to take our mindset out of like the CT4, which is a little bit more nimble, our type of car at our current stage in life. We like the really nimble stuff. This car has extra space in the back, the extra refinements, extra luxuries. But the fact that it can still rip the twisties, like...
Now that we're on a little bit bigger of a road, not quite as tight.
The sweep and turn.
Yeah, like this is where...
I think it just cut traction
a little bit, yeah.
The traction's impressing me.
Woo! This is really where it's going to excel a little bit more, like a little bit more open of a road.
Yeah, let the supercharger, work through the revs.
That's full throttle.
It is a fast car. We have almost 700 horsepower.
Wow, dude.
Like what the heck? You have literally a ZL1 Camaro engine in a family luxurious sedan. It's really, really impressive. This is what I think the epitome of American muscle is.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's almost just a straight sleeper.
Oh, it is.
But I will say, like you mentioned earlier, the looks that this car gets.
Yeah, so I did normal drive-in, grocery stores, like whatever. This thing turns so many heads. Like, I passed some construction zones and people just stare at this car. An older guy came up to me at the gym asking me about it. He was like, drooling over this thing.
Now, those turns that we just did, it felt a lot more comfortable than the tight twisties.
Yeah. I love the blend. I really liked this car a lot. Me looking forward to my own life, one day I'm probably going to need a car that has usable back seats. And I think an M3 would be the car that I would buy right now. But, this thing ripped.
Oh my gosh.
But when you need back seats that are actually usable, a full-grown adult can fit back there, not an issue. Yeah. I think this is something I would buy because you can get a manual, and then, of course, modifications. You can soup up this car, it'd be 1,000 horsepower.
Easy, right?
And you put some big old summer tires, I mean, this thing would be just a monster.
Yeah.
And when we had the CT4 V Blackwing, currently that's a car like I'd want because it's the more nimble version, twin turbo. I love that.
Right.
We did a road trip with 4 of us, and the back seats are pretty cramped. An hour and a half, I think we were in there.
It's a little bit snug to be going that far for sure.
Yeah. My only downside, which is what you're seeing right now, to take it out of track mode, you have to use the traction control icon
to go to inactive.
Hit OK for inactive, and then you can do your drive mode.
Yeah,
I had the same complaint on the CT4.
Yeah, that's a little...
Yeah, like why have the traction control icon and the drive mode selector ever connecting? That's the one dumb thing I don't like about this car. Nitpicky, but you just gotta know how to do that. But yeah, for normal things though, the fact that you have the back seats, that a full-grown adult can genuinely be back there and comfortable. I mean, there's so much practicality with a car like this.
Yeah.
And then when you throw in the big supercharged V8 and a manual, you get to forget about behind you and rip it. And the twisties might be a little bit of a handful, of course, because it's a bigger car, but the sweepers, the highway pulls, the straight line stuff, like this is pretty darn awesome.
I will say, driving it on the tighter twisties, I didn't remember the back seats.
I know.
Like, it doesn't feel on that level of too big where you know it's a big sedan.
Yeah.
But it's small enough where I didn't think about it being a sedan.
Yeah.
But it doesn't handle quite. It doesn't handle like the M4 did. You know, that has back seats. It's not a 4-seater, but I don't know.
That is much more track focused, it feels.
Right.
The CT4 V Blackwing is then very similar to the M4, which of course is the M3.
Right.
This is that bigger size to where you have the usability, but it doesn't sacrifice much of that tighter turn nimble handling. There's a little bit, but you know.
I could see maybe some suspension work. Maybe the adaptive could be a little tighter.
There's 2 modes. Maybe there could be a 3rd mode.
Yeah, like a hardcore, more track.
But I think a lot of what we are experiencing is this winter tires being squirrely.
Yeah.
So personally, I think it's set up correctly for the size of it, because you can't make this a track car because it's
the size of it. Yeah.
You want the extra nimble. You get the CT4, smaller car, smaller footprint, less weight. You know, physics are physics, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to some things that may be nitpicky about it that we don't like. So let's start off with the transmission.
I love it.
I love the 6-speed.
It's awesome.
However, it is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So like if I'm going down into 4th gear and we're getting up to speed and I want to shift into 6th gear because I'm up to speed, you got to muscle it to get it into 6. It's different than any other manual we've been in.
Same with the clutch pedal. There's some weight to it. Again, it's not undrivable.
Yeah.
I drove it in traffic. I don't know, we were in the car all day just doing normal highway traffic stuff. And when there was the bumper to bumper, it's not that I was annoyed I was in a stick shift. It's just I planned ahead a little bit better to where I was like, let me just leave it in 2nd and coast a little bit more than I would.
Yeah.
Because you notice the weight, and after a day in traffic, you know, my knee was wasn't sore. It was just, I wouldn't mind a break. It wasn't bad. It was just, it's heavier than other manuals I've been in.
For first impressions, I don't quite feel that. I can feel it being a little heavy, put like right here, halfway in.
Yeah.
It's much heavier. First impressions, I don't feel that, but obviously, you know, driving a lot more.
When you really live with it, you really realize you are in a manual. So you're not going to accidentally buy this in a stick shift. Other cars that might not have nearly 700 horsepower from a V8 aren't going to need that heavy of a spring and all that.
Yeah. So it's not bad for 700 horses.
Oh, it's what I expected it to be. It's just, know you're driving a manual. It's not a WRX with a feather clutch, you know, with 250 horsepower.
Aside from that, though, is pretty sweet.
My only nitpicky thing, again, stupid, is this trim piece. This is a beautiful 6-figure car, carbon fiber, really
2 carbon
cool
fiber packages.
Yeah, 10 grand in carbon fiber. This is just cheap plastic you'd find in a Chevy Cruze, and the volume and the scrolling dial just seems so random. Maybe, you know, some cool touch-sensitive scrollers and this carbon fiber or leather. You know, just that's it. Everything else though, interior is beautiful.
Yeah, this is a nice spec.
It feels like something very quality built and high end. When you're paying $100 grand, you know, base price is like $84,000 on this. You know, you better be getting something nice. And with the Cadillac name, it can't just be a Chevy with, you know, some chrome trim. It really does feel so solid and so premium, and it's been almost relaxing to drive. The daily stuff I've done with it, I enjoy driving. I wanted to be behind the wheel. Passengers, you know, enjoy the comfort. The massaging seats are cool, and you get them on the passenger side as well.
That is pretty impressive.
And they're bucket seats.
I will say the bucket seats maybe could be improved, or we just don't have the lateral support bolsters adjusted.
Yeah,
because I was sliding back and forth a good bit.
Yeah. And if I tighten them up, let's see what happens.
They're sweet. I love the two-tone. It looks fantastic with this black.
Yeah.
But I do feel like maybe there could be like a V seat option, even though it has the V in it, which I just noticed.
Yeah. So right now I have these bolsters at the tightest. I can fit at least, I mean, this is me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm obviously slender body type, but I wouldn't mind a bucket option. But I guess its competitor is the M5, which only gets bucket seats in the M5 CS, which is a rare spec to get.
See, there's only like 250 of those.
Yeah, so I guess when you look at the target demographics, this isn't that pinpointy twisty car like a CT4 V would be.
Right.
So it not, you know, we're the 1% that's going to want bucket seats in our luxury car, you know?
I know, yeah.
So I think for what it is in the demographic, like me personally talking about this, I wouldn't buy it now because I don't need it. But when I am maybe 40 years old and I have kids that are 10 years old who are bigger than little car seats, I'm going to need that space. This would be something that I could tone myself away from an M3 or a CT4 V and say I want a little bit extra comfort, the size, but I still got 700 horsepower, manual, all the fun stuff.
I could see that, the fun dad with the, is that just a normal sedan? No, it's not.
And of course, when I'm done with it, a pulley tuned E85, I mean, 1,000 horsepower in your dad car, like,
that's definitely doable.
This car puts a smile on my face for the future, knowing that something like this exists where I don't need to be a boring dad when I'm that age.
Hopefully you can find one at that age too, because
they still make it.
They're going to be in slim numbers maybe with the manual.
But this has been awesome. I
really like it.
Yeah, I don't have any like genuine complaints. The only other one, same with the C8 Corvette, the lag on the center screen.
Yeah.
There is so much lag when you go between drive modes. Like right now I click it and into tour mode or the other mode. It takes a long time to switch. Like I'm in track mode.
Oh yeah.
Still going, still going.
There we go.
And now we're there. It's been like 6 seconds. So
that's pretty crazy.
For especially the price point and the fact that screens have been around for a long enough time.
Yeah.
So if they could fix the lag on the screen and make it to where traction and the drive modes are not connected, and then give us something nicer right here, I have no complaints. I really don't.
For first impressions, I mean, I was in the CT4 for a lot longer than this.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the same car on the inside, so I don't really have any complaints with it either. Kind of the same things as the 4.
Yeah. You get
These are all nice.
that heavy luxury car feeling, but then when you dial it up, it just is a muscle car. And it's just so nice in here with these seats and everything. Oh yeah, the only other dumb thing. So on the seat, you see this Blackwing logo?
Yeah.
It's made of metal.
Really?
Now, it's been hot this week. When I get back in this, my sleeve is above this metal. It's hot on my back of my arm, which is a more sensitive skin spot. Again, stupid complaint, but I get in and it's like, ouch, that's hot.
Dude, I could definitely see that.
So I had I'd kind of just rub it with my fingers a little bit to cool it down, and then it'd be fine. I love the little logo, it's cool, but with just the way my arms are, maybe we can move it up a little bit.
That's interesting. I would have even noticed that. I don't know if anyone else would have, unless you hop in it on a hot day like you did.
Yeah, right where my sleeve is, it cuts it off to where the metal touches my skin.
I did not notice that at all today.
That's probably the most nitpicky, dumbest complaint ever, but that's the one thing I've noticed for the heat of the day.
Well, maybe one last thing would be the amount of gas that this thing sucks.
Oh, yes. Now we get, I think, 11 miles per gallon. 13 city, 21 highway.
We burned at least a half a tank in 20 miles.
Yeah, I did the review.
Something like that.
20 miles, and that was an eighth of a tank. It showed that I was getting like 19 miles per gallon, which probably was because of the highway driving I did.
Yeah.
But it's thirsty, which...
Supercharged V8 makes sense, right?
Yeah, and it only has a 17-gallon tank, which is similar, I think, to my GTR. But it drinks.
You're going smiles per gallon with this thing.
Purely smiles per gallon. There are no miles.
There are no miles.
They've been fun miles. It's just if you were to actually daily drive this like that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you can afford a 6-figure car, you're probably not too concerned. Like, I wouldn't really care, but at the same time, you're filling up twice a week at $70 a tank.
Yeah. It gets expensive.
But again, we're in a V8 car with this much power. So if you're daily driving this, kudos to you. It makes some good sounds. I can't imagine modifications.
Oh, this thing would get real loud.
This car,
really repping it.
People I've showed it to, everyone's excited about it. Like,
it's crazy too.
Cool. It's cool
because it's a Cadillac, but maybe that rear factor.
Yeah, Cadillac has that good luxury feeling, and the fact that you get the performance. I guess let's do one last rip.
Yeah, we're in track mode.
Yep, we are rocking and rolling. Brace myself for the power.
Here we go.
Another thing I noticed, it is so easy to speed. When we were on the highway going like 70, I felt like I was going 40. It is, it's that solid of a car.
That was 55. That felt very, very, very solid.
Very similar to 55.
Yeah.
But it really does. It's that solid of a car. There's no loose ends, nothing weird. It's just
it gives you that Cadillac feel of being solid and luxurious even at speed.
And I noticed that when we had the XT5, which is obviously a little crossover, that was just so luxurious feeling. I wish I had more power, but you can feel a Cadillac in these cars, which is nice because I feel like years ago it was just a Chevy with some chrome.
Right.
But there's a solid feeling to this that I really like to see, and the fact that you get power in these Blackwing cars, like, what a freaking awesome car.
I mean, especially when some automakers aren't going to this level.
They don't make things like this.
Right.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's the ultimate family sedan.
This
for
is on
sure.
the radar, absolutely.
Yeah. Does that wrap it up for your week, my first day?
Yeah, as we burn
with it,
all the gas in the tank.
Yep, that was $40 right there.
$40 in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? It was fun as crap.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed all the content with the CT5 V Blackwing manual. Oh, so freaking cool. It's such a good car. I don't even know where to go, but
that wraps it up. Check out all the other videos we did on it.
Yeah, subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys
next
in the
video.
next video.